This is a recreation of how I felt when I realized I was listening to a book with explicit romance scenes in a public place at the gym because I was mortified. So I read while working out, not because it's optimal, but because it's the only way I actually manage to show up for my workouts. But not all books make good workout partners, just like not all of your friends do either. Some give you energy, you want to keep going so you find out what happens at the end of the book, and then some kind of put you to bed. And some absolutely should never have been read aloud, ever. If it was good enough for Bruce Lee, then it's good enough for me. Although, for sure, Bruce Lee probably wouldn't have listened to some of the books that I have on this list. Sorry, Bruce. So I'm ranking these books purely on how they did as workout buddies, not on the merit of the book itself. Some of the books were really good, just weren't it when I was working out. And then some of the books were really, really bad, but were like really good as workout buddies. So I present you the workout book tier system. At level 1, elite. Level 2, great. Level 3, mood dependent. Level 4, lower energy. And level 5, not workout books. Let's just get into it. First off, we have our tier 1 elite workout books. I'm talking high energy. I wanted to keep going to get to the end of these books. Number 1 is one I have been putting off for a very long time, but I finally started to listen to. And it's a book called Fourth Wing. Now, hear me out. Is it high literature? No. Did I stop listening? Absolutely not. The definition of a potato chip book. It was so bad. It was good. And they were long enough that I wanted to know what happened next, so I stayed on my cardio till I could get to the end of these books. Fourth Wing is about this girl called Violet, who is physically perhaps a little fragile. And she's so tiny because it's a fantasy book, so she's so itty bitty. And she enters a Dragon Rider Academy where she could die or she could live, and her handsome childhood best friend is there, and he's been there for a little bit. And then there's also the son of a bad guy, which is as much as I'm gonna summarize that, because were they really bad guys or was he just bad guy? And there's like, ooh, will they, won't they, should they? Drama. But yeah, tier 1, trash, but I was invested. Next, tier 1, top 10 favorite series of all times. I don't know why it took me so long to get around to reading them. The Murderbot Diaries, all of them. I listened to all of them while exercising this year, and just 5 out of 5 stars for all of them. The audiobook narrator, also so good, phenomenal. The TV show, also good, not as good as the books, but also good. We're getting a new book in this series coming out in this coming year, I think. So excited. And it's essentially about this rogue sec unit, which is essentially this robot gains consciousness, and all he wants to do is be left alone and watch his soap operas, and just the universe is not letting him. And it's just so good. Another tier 1 was this duology of spy books. The first one is called The Blonde Identity. The second one I think is called The Girl Who Came In From the Cold. I just finished that one. Tier 1. They're fast, they're flirty, they're chaotic. And the first book is essentially this girl wakes up with amnesia and she's being chased down, and there's this guy there who insists that they have like a past history on the go. He keeps calling her a name, so she's like, is that who I am? Find out she's actually the twin of a spy, and they don't know where her sister is, and they're after something that they think that she has, and they're on the run, and it's so good. And the second book is about the sister. And I haven't read very many spy books, but I think this series is going to change that for me because it was just so much fun. 10 out of 10. The last one for tier 1 is called Divine Rivals. I think this one was also another duology. 2 rival journalists start using these magical typewriters, and they're sending letters back and forth, but they don't, or one of them doesn't know that the other person is the one they're writing the letters back and forth to. One of them goes to the front lines. They accidentally start falling in love, and there is essentially a war about, and there's gods involved, and it was just a good book series duology. It was just cute. I just liked the premise. Tier 2, great cardio companions. These books weren't like, oh my gosh, I have to keep extending my workout to get to the end of them. but they were still really good books. So tier 2. Okay, so forgive me, Long Live Evil, potato chip of a book. Absolute potato chip. It was greasy, it was bad for me, and I kept reading, and then there was a twist at the end that I think I saw coming, but I don't know if I did or not, and I don't like to try and puzzle out twists too far ahead of time because then it's no fun. Potato chip book. Can't wait to read the second one. It was so bad. It was so bad. Because hear me out, I love an isekai. I love portal fantasy, and this book is essentially a woman from our world who is quite sickly, essentially gets isekai'd or pulled into the world of her sister's favorite fantasy series as like the villain who's about to get executed, and she manages to stop her own execution, and now she's just living in this fantasy series trying to survive. So good, so bad. There's romance, there's drama, no notes. Another one for tier 2 is Killers of a Certain Age, which once again I mentioned, bit of a spy kick, but this one, also a duology. I preferred the first book to the second book. The first book is about retired female assassins who are elderly, and they're going on like their final cruise to celebrate their retirement, supplied by their company. And then someone is trying to assassinate them as they enjoy their retirement party. Who is trying to kill them? Why? Will they escape? And it like gives flashbacks to their earlier days, and it was just really cute. I liked it a lot. It's like, why is my organization out to get me? I just was an assassin for you for like 40 years. Let me rest. What about Old Lady Assassins does not scream phenomenal workout book? Speaking of frail, skinny women in fantasy books, I also read A Court of Mist and Fury. It's the sequel to A Court of Thorns and Roses, which was a potato chip book. And everyone keeps telling me, like, the series gets better as you go. And I don't think they're lying. It's still, hear me out, it's still not my favorite. But it's like, trashy and I'm not stopping. I was definitely invested and I wanted to keep going. And I love someone leaving a toxic relationship, for sure, don't get me wrong. But it goes in tier 2 instead of tier 1 is because of the Assassin's Blade. Because I know she can do better. Throne of Glass. I know, the year of our Lord 2025, and I'm only just reading Throne of Glass. I also just finished its sequel. No notes. Once again, I have no notes. It was good. It was so good. 10 out of 10. No notes. It's about Serena Sardathian. She's this young assassin, and in the first one, essentially, she has to survive through a tournament to become the king's champion, or else she's going to be sent back to work in the mines. Work in the mines, I mean she's a slave in the mines, as punishment for things you would know about if you read the prequel, which I did before the first book, and I'm very glad I did because it gave so much context when I was reading through for things that had happened in her past that explain why she is the way she is. And it was so fun. It was so fun. I would recommend 10 out of 10. And like, she's doing her little training montage. I'm doing my little training montage. She's trying not to get killed by actual people. I'm trying not to get killed by cardio. It all works out. Okay, so tier number 3 is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Everyone online raved about this book. They raved and they raved and they raved and they were like, oh my gosh, this book is so good. I wasn't impressed. Sorry if it's a favorite of yours. I guessed how it would end. I wasn't particularly invested in this woman's life. It's essentially a journalist is getting the insider scoop of the life of Evelyn Hugo and her 7 husbands. And it was fine. I just feel like it was so hyped up that I was like, I would never read it again. You know, it was just okay. You know what? I'm gonna merge the last 2 categories together, actually. Low energy only and mood dependent, because they all just kind of blur together. Another book that ends up down in this category is actually A Darker Shade of Magic. Back in the day on BookTube, everybody, and I mean everybody, raved about this book series. They loved it. They died for it. And I don't know if it's because it was just too hyped up, but I just thought it was good, you know? I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I have to know what happens next. Wow. I was just like, yeah, this is an alright story. I'm like, yeah, this is good. Yeah, this is good. Maybe because of the hype, maybe I just wasn't in the mood. Also onto this list falls The Princess Diarist, which is the biography of Carrie Fisher. It was good. It was cute. I honestly have never been that interested in knowing what happened in her life, though I do like Star Wars, so I listened to it, and it was just a neat little insight into her life. A Psalm for the Wild Built and a prayer for the Crown Sky. Loved the concept. to death. I thought it was such a cute idea, but I wanted more. I wanted more from the books. I wanted more exploration of the themes and the ideas in them. And I feel like I didn't get enough depth from them. I wanted more. I won't spoil it too much, but it's essentially about a tea monk who finds a wild robot because the robots all left society and wandered off into the woods years and years ago. And the robot is asking the tea monk about what it means to be human. And there's so much there. I just wanted more, but maybe I'm just greedy. But I don't know if I'd rate them as good workout partner books. They're more like a soft stroll through the woods, sat by a lake, having a coffee in a coffee shop. More of a pondering book than a I have to lift heavy, run fast book, you know? Same thing with Custodians of Wonder. What a good book. It was so cute. It's just stories of people keeping these ancient and dying traditions. So interesting, so much to be learned from it. Just not particularly motivating when I'm trying to amp myself up to work out. Once again, a slow stroll through the woods sort of book, which is good. You need different books for different things. None of the authors intended for these to be worked out with. Valid. And this one might surprise you. The Poppy War, not a workout book. Not a workout book at all. The tone shift from when they were in school to, the war was jarring. I was like, these are two different books. What's happening? The book itself, first of all, way too long to be listening to exercising. And really heavy. When it got to that one point, which if you've read the book, you'll know the one I mean, when they went to that city and they found what had been left behind after the army passed through, I had to stop it. I couldn't listen to it in one go. I actually had to stop it and take a second because it was fucked up. I had to stop. I was like, oh my God. So the Poppy War is once again a girl enters into a military academy and then gets thrown into a war. That's all I'm going to tell you about it, but just know it's pretty heavy. The Done and Dusted book series are also not book series you can read while you're working out. I picked them up thinking, oh, cute, little cowboy romance book. They're gonna fall in love. It's gonna be so cute. She's going back to the town where she grew up. Her brother's best friend. Small town romance. Oh my God. Guys, be sure to read the descriptions of your books. There was a lot of spice. It was quite spicy. And I wasn't expecting spice. So picture me in a public gym exercising. All of a sudden, they're in the back of the car and I'm like, oh my gosh. Mortified. I'm like, can anybody hear this? I have to stop. I'm like, my face probably was beet red. I hope people thought it's from exercising. I had to shut that down so fast and just leave. I was mortified. I was like, oh no. So 0 stars for a book to read while working out, but it was cute, but it was spicy. So here's why I read the books while I'm working out. I'm a shift worker. My sleep schedule is shot half the time. My motivation is inconsistent. God forbid I get up and have the gumption to work out before I go to work on night shift or after I get home on days without a little carrot and stick, I only get so many hours in a day to sit and read, so this way I still get my time to read. I'm just also doing something else that I would like to have time to do. If I wanted to know what happened next in my audiobooks, I had to get up and I had to go exercise or stay exercise now that I'm working out at home again. There's also a whole bunch of other books I read that I did not read while I was exercising. So if you would like to know what other books I read in 2025, please do let me know because I did read more than this. This is just what I read while I was exercising. So yes, I read while I'm working out, not because Bruce Lee told me to, but because it's the only way I actually show up consistently. And if you want some more fitness and book content from somebody who is working 12-hour rotating shifts, feel free to comment, subscribe. I'll be here all year